Thank you so much. So to get an idea in the room, how many people here have online courses or coaching programs already? Nice work. Must have been one of my presentations before. How many of you are planning on adding courses, coaching programs, memberships, or any other kind of education to your system? Great, you're in the right room. My name's Sarah. I help you turn your knowledge into money and, more importantly, into impact, something that's going to take what you know or the experiences that you've had in your lives and use those to make the world a better place and your bank account a bit sexier in the meantime. All down for that? Yes. Who loves this question? No, not a single finger in the air. Of course we don't, because coffees don't pay bills, but we do need to make sure in our businesses that we do have a way of answering this kind of question. Because what this question means is, I need to know what you know. I would like to get the knowledge that's in your head. I need you. Of course, we can't say, sure, we'll swap that for all the coffees we get offered in the world. But what we can do is find a way to package up that knowledge in lots of different ways so that we can say yes to this question every single time. Because that coffee might turn into a Corvette when that person's had a chance to have a taste of you, right? Coffee's not going to buy anything, but our knowledge absolutely does. And today I want to give you some ideas of the different ways that you can turn that information you already have into different kinds of packaged up products or services or formats of delivery, so that no matter who comes up to you and says, can I pick your brain? You're going to say, look at the menu of all of the different ways you can do that. I have a whole menu for you to choose from, not just the coffee. So who wants their email inbox to look like this every day on top of what you already get? Good. I'm going to show you how today. This is the process of reworking and re-looking at and re-strategizing what you already do. One of the things you'll be pleased to hear about today is you're not creating anything new, you're just doing what you do in slightly different formats. So the model that I take my clients and my students through, whether this is a corporate client, a university, a college, an individual, a mum who's selling candles on the side to keep the business running, is we first of all have to understand, what is the strategy? What is your whole business? What do you sell? I can't show you all the secrets. That would make me a terrible businesswoman. You've got to come and join my Legends Lab to get all of them. See what I did there? When you're on stage, you need something else to sell. And what you're going to be doing is giving these little breadcrumbs throughout your presentations. As a speaker, it's not just the presentation that you're making your money from, right? It's everything else that they can choose from your menu afterwards. So the first thing I say to my clients is, let's have a look at all the ways you make money. And that's what this pink bit at the bottom is of this model. Write down now, what are all the ways that you currently make money? Is it speaking? Is it boot camps? Is it courses? Is it consulting? Is it done with you services? Done for you services? Do you have physical products? Do you have books? That's the first question I ask everyone. I need to know all the ways that you currently make money so that we can go, right, is the customer journey correct first? Are we maximizing on our current sales? Do they go in the right order? Are we maximizing our lifetime value of those people? Are we getting enough repeat purchases? It's easier to get people to buy twice than to get new people to buy once. We've all heard that before. The next thing we're going to ask ourselves at this strategic bottom stage is, now we know the ways that you currently make money, what are all of the other ways that you can add even more income streams to that business without necessarily having to add on entire new services, which means whole new overheads. And this is where we can go, right, that magical little lump of meat in your head is the pot of gold. So all we're going to do is milk it and extract what's there and create a whole bunch of products and services and income streams, service gateways, to help people go back and allow them to pick your brain. So down here we've got everything from our cheap end. You've got things like templates, resources, you've got your self-study online courses, webinars, you've got workshops, and as you move up the big end over here, this is when we start moving into our keynotes, our coaching programs, our retreats and boot camps. Then we start adding more zeros on as we start doing done-for-you services. So I've got a free course on how to create an online course. If you go to the app, my slides for today are on the app. If you scan that, you'll get an example. I also have I will create your courses for you. I will take your book and I will turn that into a course for you. I also then have the consulting, right? So what would your consulting version be? Could I come on a week-long experience with you and you help me get the thing done? What is it? What is your version of that? These are all the different ways that we can package up that information. So step 1, what do we sell? Step 2, what else can we sell? Step 3 is then, how are you going to make people aware of the fact that you are an expert in that thing, that this is your knowledge, that you are the best in the world at this thing. But then how do we create a flow, a system for them, to discover you? This green one up here is content and organic marketing. You going out there and showing your expertise to the world, giving people those little shots of espresso, the taste of you, whether it's in a room like this, whether it's doing live streams on social, whether it's popping up videos and how-tos on YouTube, if it's TikToking, right, it works. Then we have general marketing activities, right? So our content marketing is sharing the stuff out. General marketing is everything else. It's paid advertising, it's speaking on podcasts, it's coming and doing public speaking, and a whole bunch of other stuff. The point is that along the way, you need to take them from just being aware of you and aware of the fact that person's an expert in that thing and you're knowledgeable about this topic, to getting their email address. Now, at the beginning of this presentation, very briefly, I had this slide up. And this is an example in action of what you guys all need to be doing on stages when you are presenting, free or paid. I would like you to just have a look at what this does. I'm being smart here, because what's it going to do? This is going to take you to a form where it's going to ask you for an email address, which then is going to instantly give you an email that will instantly pop up these slides. What have I got now? Your email address. And of course, you're then going to go into what's called a welcome email sequence. Please write that down. You are going to go and create a welcome email sequence. What is it? It's 20 emails that are your top 20 tips in your topic. The best tips that you can provide to your audience in your topic. You're going to write those 20 emails. At the bottom of each of those emails, after giving this awesome tip, it's going to say, P.S. first name. Here are all of the ways that I can help you, whatever it is you're an expert in. And you're going to list down, you could book a coaching call with me, you could get this online course, you can join this coaching program, you can join this membership, you can come to one of my retreats, right? Whatever it might be. But this is the tech that goes behind the back of your speaking business. If you are not using this today, you're missing out on a room full of people that go from being aware of you all the way through to becoming a high-paying customer. Or at the very least, paid for some spring rolls from the starter menu, instead of picking your brain. So it goes on a lot more and a lot deeper than that. To join the Legends Lab if you want to check it out. But from here, the next step I would ask you guys, when I'm sitting down with you, working out how can we commercialize the nuts out of your business? How can we squeeze more money out of your brain to help more people all over the world? Well, the next thing we're going to do is work out what end of the market do you want to be on. Now, the world isn't a circle to me. It's not flat either. To me, the world is a triangle, where the majority of our market, the majority of the world, are at this low disposable income rate. It's just the way the world is. This lower end of the market where we have lower ticket items, there's more of them, but we can only price the products at this end of the market at a much lower rate. So if we are looking at hitting as many people as possible, who here has a personal goal to impact as many lives as possible before they leave this earth? Awesome. So with you guys, I would be sitting down with you saying, I highly encourage you to have some kind of lower priced products, because the only way you're going to hit that mass market is if you have lower priced items. However, I would then sit down with some of you and say, how many of you want to create these VIP luxury exclusive experiences where you're charging high ticket items? You can have less customers because of that. How many of you are looking to have those kinds of experiences? Retreats, boot camps, coaching programs. Nice. All right. Very different business models. You have less people with that higher disposable income. However, you only need less of those people to still make significant amounts of money. Require extremely different kinds of marketing styles, extremely different kinds of sales pages, follow-up and marketing and sales processes. However, by seeing this, you can now ask yourself, which side of that market do you want to be at? Because now it's going to give you an idea as to what kinds of ways you're going to package up your products into. Now, you're going to go, I went to Sarah's presentation, so why not create all of them? Yeah? Why not help everybody? You no longer live in a world where you have to choose one of these sectors of society. You can take the same topic and package up the starter version, cheaper priced, the main course version, then the super duper sprinkles, champagne, strawberries, everything on top version. The same topic can be wrapped up in lots of different ways, pitched at different price points, and marketed and followed through with different marketing. Don't have to choose anymore. How good is that? So for this room, we have a bunch of different kinds of ways that you might be packaging up your knowledge. So you've got your self-study courses, you've got your coaching programs, you've got memberships and services and consulting and so much more. Sitting down with each of you would be which one's going to work for you. Some of you might focus on one or two of these hero products. Others might go, do you know what? Let's build out an entire ecosystem, a whole suite of different versions of our offerings over time. So that when someone goes, hey, can I pick your brain over a coffee? You'll go, you can read my menu. Here are all the different ways I can help, because you're going to have the free version, the cheap version, the middle price version, and the super duper king and queen version. Now, the other difference that will start to determine which way you're going to package up your knowledge will depend on, are you working B2C, the public market, or are you working in corporate? So how many of you here are predominantly servicing corporates and businesses, larger scale businesses? Yeah, about half the room. How many are doing B2C, everyday public, members of the public? Cool, okay. How many want to do both? You can. You can do both, which is good. And you're going to simply be packaging them up differently. You're going to be explaining them differently and selling them differently. So with corporate, as many of you, you're going to need to have a formal training proposal. You've got to come and join my Legends Lab to see what I did there. This is where you're going to be talking about what solution your program brings to that particular organization and the ways in which, ways with an S, you can provide that training. Now, the more ways packaged up you offer that training model, I guarantee you the higher chance your conversion rate is going to be for them bringing you on board to deliver the training. As an example, you may offer the business membership model, which most people say to me, surely that only works with the public. You can say for 12 months for unlimited places on my program, whether you're delivering it in person, online, or a hybrid of both, it's going to be X thousands of dollars per month. Cool. Here's your invoice for the year. The membership model, albeit you're sticking it into annual invoicing, really works well for corporates today, which is something that would not have worked very well a few years ago. Now, the next step, once we've worked out what are we going to sell, who are we going to sell it to, what are the different price points and different ways we're going to package up our knowledge, the next thing we need to do is create an IP framework. Does anyone have one of these sexy beauties? Something like this. What we're thinking the steps for Alcohol Anonymous. We're thinking, what are your unique steps or stages or systems or processes for taking somebody from zero to hero in your topic? So if I came up to any of you today in the room and I said, I know nothing about your topic, I'm in the night of the darkest soul, soul of the darkest night, how does that one go? I'm there. That's how messed up and scrambled my brain is. What's my name again? That's where I'm at in your topic. And I say, right, if I was going to spend a year with you and I was going to come out of that 12 months knowing as much as you do about your topic, I feel like as much of a knowledge bomb as you are in your topic, what steps would you take me through? What would you ask me? What would we have to work through first? What would we have to work through second? Then what would you teach me? Then what would I need to do? Then what else would I need to do? And this is going to give you your unique steps for getting somebody through your process of doing something. This is why there is no such thing as competition here, because we've all learned what we've learned in different ways, and we all present it to our clients in different ways. We explain it in different ways, and we use different language, and we place different levels of importance on each of those stages to our people. So what we want to do next in our product creation model is come up with that IP framework, and then we're going to get someone to make it look pretty. And this could be 3 steps, 5 steps, 10 steps. The only rule with this is don't make it more than 12. And this is not a curriculum design thing. It's because I found that fitting more than 12 topics into 12 months is very challenging in terms of your delivery. If you've got a membership, having one theme or one topic per month is a great structure. At very minimum, you're going to have a retention rate of 12 months with most of your students. because they're going to want to get through the whole 12 months, even though it's a membership rather than annual coaching program. You've got structure to what I call a success journey, which is what your model is, right? It's the journey to success, the stages of success in your particular topic. The other reason why this is important is because you're not just creating a course or your membership, you're also creating your keynotes. This is now the framework for your keynote. It's the framework for your book. 12 chapters works out at a really nice number too. Now, I'm not saying it needs to be 12, but don't do more than 12. Once you've got this, you now have the whole framework for every kind of product you're going to go on and create from that point. This becomes your unique way of delivering what you do. Okay, when it comes to, most of you already know what you do. Well, I'm in a room full of speakers here, but I often get people to say to themselves, what do I do? Rather than, what should I teach? I get people who come to me at the beginning and go, what should I teach? There's so many topics I can deliver. There's so many things around my topic that I could be teaching that I don't know which one of the things I know to put inside my framework. So I say, don't ask what do I teach, ask what do I do? Go back through your life timeline from the day before you started learning about your thing and ask yourself, what are all the steps I went through? I like to do what's called a timeline. I'll show you very quickly in a moment about how all the things that are terrible that's happened to you that you got through, you're still here, all the amazing wins and brags that you have achieved, all of those are your unique steps. If you were to draw a timeline from the day you were born to today, that is your step that you've been through to learn what you learn now to make this framework that you have. I'm going to skip past some of these because you guys are going to get the slides for this. But also remember that this framework will never be finished. Every time you teach this, every time you run through this, every year you go through your process of delivering what you do, you will refine it again. It's a living, breathing, never stopping creature. Don't think, I can't do my IP framework yet because I don't know if this is exactly perfect. It's never finished. Right, you've got to do what is it right now, today. In 2025, you might change it again. And that's awesome, because now you can write another book and another keynote and another course and another coaching program. Score! More commercialization. This is where I talked about now what are the rest of the stages that we're going to go through. And I'm going to do one a minute for the next 10 minutes. So I hope you've got your pens on you. The first one is choosing that topic. Now, the thing that I think is very important for me to enforce in this room is that most of you guys have loads of knowledge. And your problem isn't what to teach, it's like how much you have to teach. So I want to tell you something that's trending right now in the market. Micro-learning, delivered in the format of memberships, is what is massively trending and converting the most at the moment in the market. So what I mean by this is, beautifully and excitingly, you can teach all of your topics, as long as each thing you teach is delivered in what I call lunch break learning within around 90 minutes. If you can take every single question that your audience asks about all of the topics that you know, and you create lots of these 1 hour to 90-minute sessions on your particular topic, or all of the topics you know, and you say to people, you can choose to buy these individually on their own if they want. If they just want to learn this one thing, let them be able to buy that on its own. Or, beautiful customers, you can join my membership where you'll get access to not just this one workshop, you'll get access to everything else in my vault of knowledge as well. Every ebook, every guide, every resource, every workshop recording, every mini course, every challenge, it's all in your membership portal. If I join your membership, not only do I get access to all those resources that are all on demand, I can come and join your monthly live training. That's the theme of the month that matches your success journey, your IP framework, which is going to give me a much higher retention rate in your program. The programs that contain a community or group element are also the ones converting the highest at the moment. As we all know, we've gone through a period of being very isolated and lonely. I have seen a huge uptick in programs that have community elements or group-based learning. Whether that's a Facebook group or whether you're using a platform that has communities on it like Techmatics, this is what people are more joining for, that sense of belonging. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, a fundamental human need is to belong to something, to feel like I'm not the only one doing this mad stuff. There's other people doing this too. That sense of affirmation comes only from a collective. So adding these on, micro-learning in a membership with a group-based community element, in 2024, guys, this is the best model to be going with. Of course, all the other models work too, right? There's always going to be tea and coffee people. Tea and coffee are both always going to sell, right? No matter what people's preferences are. Same as this, but at the moment, those are converting the highest. Now, the next thing we want to do with our thing is to make sure it's going to sell. Luckily, most of you have already got past that market testing phase already. Now, let me put it this way. If you are doing marketing that's worded in the right way to the right audience, it's going to sell. Anyone heard of Gwyneth Paltrow? Yeah? How many of you know about the candle thing? Do we tell the people who don't know what the candle thing is? Does anyone want to know what the candle thing is? She sold candles that had the aroma of her hoo-ha, and she sold billions with a B, right? So what I'm saying here is you can sell anything if you market it in the right way to the right people, right? You can. So everyone's real stuck on the Gwyneth Paltrow candles right now. That woke you all up, didn't it? Now we're understanding that creating a course, creating anything, is not going to make you a bajillionaire overnight. But if you do the right marketing to the right people, you have a very high chance of success out there. When there are 7.9 billion people on Earth, I guarantee you there are enough of them out there that you could ever manage to handle. So picking the right topic is more about choosing the right language. It's what words are people typing into Google, which is the #1 place they go, by the way. Everyone thinks it's all about Instagram love hearts. People are going to Google every single day and typing in, how do I get? How do I be? How do I have? How do I achieve? How do I not have? How do I stop? It's the content that comes up from those search results that is the content that sells. So if you've got a course or a YouTube video or a blog post, now, by the way, 80% of search results that come up are blog posts. People are very much underestimating that as a marketing ploy. Not to mention the fact that with AI regulation that will come in eventually, blog stuff will have to be referenced by the AI. So, side note, make sure you start blogging today if you want AI to start recommending your stuff, because it will come. You want to make sure that you're using those words in your course titles, your membership titles, and everything else. So using something like Answer the Public and Google Trends will tell you whether the words you're using to describe your course is the same as what the market's using or not. The next thing is you want to then start gathering up your course content, which is things like using Answer the Public. Has anyone not heard of answerthepublic.com? Couple. So just to let you know, guys, that is a website that curates the most commonly asked questions to a certain volume on Google every 24 hours. If you want to know what your market want to know right now, go to Answer the Public. This is going to tell you what your course needs to be about and exactly what content needs to be in it. You're welcome. Listen to the market, right? It's done for you. So once you've done this market research, what are the questions my audience are asking? Your course, whatever package, whatever format, whichever model you're putting it into, must simply answer their questions and nothing else. It is a bit different to keynoting in that they don't care too much about the stories. They can have add-on effect. But more than anything, they want the answers to their questions. Your course is a vehicle from getting them to what I don't know to what I need to know and do. And that's it. So there's a number of ways to find out what your audience are asking. All you have to do is answer them as quickly as possible. Get to the point, Sarah. Next. Then you're going to start gathering it together. And this is the point where if it's a course, you're simply going to group together similar topics. Boom, there's your modules. If it's a membership, you're going to ask yourself, what's the most logical flow of the themes or the categories that I could walk people through so that the information and the knowledge is building on top of itself. Teaching the content. Now, most of you here are speakers and love being on the camera. A lot of people I work with would rather go to the dentist than stand in front of the barrel of a lens. However, I do recommend with your training, any training whatsoever that's online, please make sure that at least 70% of it is delivered by video. And today, that does not matter if it's a Zoom recording. It used to be important. Today, it's not. As long as the content is fast, the questions are being answered, Zoom recordings are fine, Loom is fine, your mobile phone, which is a studio in your pocket, is absolutely fine, provided that the quality is good. Getting professional videographers, like we have in the room here today, is the best way that you could possibly get the quality put together. The next thing you need to do is create your sales page, and there is a structure to course sales pages. Most people, believe it or not, do not even explain what their courses are about. I get people to come to me and say, Sarah, I put a course out and it's not selling, it sucks. And I look and I go to their sales page. First of all, most of them aren't marketing it in the first place, but their sales page says nothing other than who they are and how great they are. It doesn't have learning outcomes. It doesn't detail anything whatsoever that's going to tell the learner what they're going to get from the program. The next thing you need to do is film it, and here is an example of my old desk. This one is now 4 years old, just turned 4 years old. But you guys make sure that it is well lit and it has good audio. That is the most important thing that I can reinforce for you at this stage. Then we are moving on to tech. Now, unless you love doing admin, it is very important that you are automating the sales page, the enrollment, so I can come straight to your page. I can give you my money without you being involved in the process. I instantly need to get sent my welcome email from you. If I don't instantly get that, the market's going to get mad. It should instantly give me my access where I can instantly log in and instantly start learning from you. And then, unless you love admin, you should have what's called a student progress check-in sequence, which is a bunch of pre-written emails which will then check in with me and say, hey Sarah, how are you going? By now you should be at this module. By now you should have got to this stage or category. Please let me know if you need any help. Here's where you can book a call from me. Here's where you can add an add-on for that to be done for you. And of course, Techmatics is the most awarded all-in-one platform in Australia for running your whole business, whether it's websites, funnels, landing pages, online course enrollments, memberships, and everything in between. Now the real work begins, which is the marketing. So if any of you guys would like to get a copy of these slides, you can take a screenshot there. My name's Sarah Cordiner. Thank you very much.
Woo! Oh my God, I can't believe how amazing you are.
Thank you.
So much value from there, all these different ways that you can package up and make more money. Applause for Sarah.
Thank you.